You wrote recently an article that caught my attention. It was in American Greatness. It was titled, "Free Speech is Now a Crime." What did you mean by that?
Well, it was a strange title because it sounds so crazy, but it's really true. If you look at what the FBI was saying and doing in the Twitter files, they were criminalizing free speech. They were treating it as a crime and as a national security issue.
Yeah, so talk about the Twitter files. A lot of people say, oh, okay, Elon Musk released these things, and I guess that people were canceled that shouldn't have been canceled, but it really runs a lot deeper than that. Describe what we found in those files.
Well, first, the way he released the files was amazing. He just simply released them. He allowed some honest left-wing journalists to just have their way through Twitter's own internal systems, and then there'd be somebody on Twitter at the company right before them. They'd say, give me what you have on this, and they'd cough it right up on the screen and give them screenshots or printouts. So it's an amazing collection of documents that's available to just about anybody who wants them now. And there are probably more to come. What we found was that the FBI and the CIA and other members of the U.S. intelligence community were using Twitter as a way to censor free speech.
Yeah, first off, you said honest left-wing journalists. Describe what an honest left-wing journalist is.
Well, it's a journalist who doesn't pretend to have a bias, but who he has a point of view. He's from the left. But facts are facts. He's not going to deny them. He's not going to denounce them. He's not going to treat people who treat those seriously as conspiracy theorists. He's going to say, wow, these are the facts. Let's speak for themselves. Let's put them out there. Let's interpret them. Let's discuss them.
Yeah, no, and what I love about that is it doesn't come, I share what would be deemed as a right-wing political view. These people and I would not necessarily agree on politics, but we absolutely agree on liberty. And I love that about them. I think,
and you can be friends with them, and you can have honest discussions with them. That's the great thing.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Robert Epstein, who has studied Google and the threat Google brings. He comes from a left-wing view, and he and I are friends. Perfect example. So tell me, when the FBI is working with Twitter to censor free speech, why? Why are they doing it? I mean, the FBI is supposed to be investigating crime and protecting America. What's going on here?
Right. Well, it began with the FBI and the CIA and others working with social media companies to track down terrorists. You find their networks to track down the Muslim Brotherhood until they stop doing that. But you want to find out who the networks are, where they are, and then there's technology to use social media to geolocate people real time and kill them.
Well, that's frightening. So you geolocate people, but the FBI here is not killing people in America, I hope. They're killing free speech, though.
Right. Well, it's the same technology. It was developed for the war on terror. So it was then civilianized and then abused, so that the FBI was then using it to really suppress free speech and to ensure that certain false narratives got out there, and then that people were unable to question those narratives or to provide alternative information.
Well, and the files have shown it's more than just censoring of false narratives, which is, something we could argue whether that's a good idea or not. But they were actually taking truth and suppressing truth, even though they acknowledged it was truth in some of the tweets, right?
Right. Well, first, no federal law authorizes the FBI to censor free speech, even if it's a, quote, false narrative. And look how we've gotten from the words truth and falsehood to narratives. That's an old Comintern trick from the Soviet times. Gramsci types of Marxists, they invented narrative and counter-narrative. Now we're using it as normal words, but it's really an old communist subversive term to create false truths and false dialogues and then false thought processes and false actions. And once something that's not according to the narrative is considered a crime or a national security issue, the security apparatus gets involved and starts repressing free speech.